So let me just tell you a little story time how I asked my husband to marry my sister. You ready for the story? Here we go. So it had to be year 2022. I met a sister who was a new shahada, and we became real cool. We started to talk. She wanted to know a lot about Islam. She wanted to know how to pray. She wanted to learn how to dress properly. She wanted to know how to read the Quran. And I wanted to be an aid to her because I see that her intentions were pure in regards to just trying to be the best version of herself when it comes to just being a Muslimah. So a couple months had passed, and basically my husband married a second wife and brought her from the state she was living in to our state where we resided. Everything was going good at first, but then things got a little rocky in that situation with me and my husband and my ex and my co-wife at the time. So where it was mentally draining, emotionally draining. I was frustrated. I didn't know if I was coming or going, but I tried my best to stick in there. 5 months down the line, me and my husband invited the new shahada, the sister I met her husband over, for dinner. We ate, and we began to really develop a real close friendship. A few months later, the sister reaches out to me because she was in a place where she was ready to get a divorce from her husband, and Allah knows best. But then she confided in me that she wasn't going to have a place to stay. She didn't have any money financially. She didn't know where she wanted to go or where she was going. And she was really in a low place. And I looked at her and I said, sis, I know you're going through a lot. And if you go through with this divorce, I don't want you to be out on the street because I love you for the sake of Allah. So I'm going to talk to my husband and I want you to marry my husband. And when I said that, she just looked at me. She couldn't believe what I said. Her eyes got big, and I said to her, I'm serious. I want you to marry my husband. She was kind of hesitant because she didn't want to cause any type of drama in my marriage. But I told her, if I love you for the sake of Allah, I'm going to make sure that you're good. So a few days later, my husband at this time came home from work. And we were sitting down watching TV, I believe. And I said to him, do you remember such and such? He was like, yeah. I was like, telling him she's about to get a divorce. And he was like, really? And I said, yeah, she's not going to have a place to stay and she's going to be homeless. And so I want to ask you a question. He said, what's the question? I said to him, I want you to marry her. And he looked at me. He's like, are you serious? I said, yeah, I'm serious. I want you to marry her. She needs a husband. You are a good provider, and I want her to be okay. And at first, he was kind of drawn back. And I feel the reason for that was because his current wife was trying to fill his head that I was against polygyny, that I hated polygyny, that I wasn't a team player. And he didn't know that I knew the conversation she used to have with him behind my back. But I went to him because, as I stated before, he was a good provider, and the sister who I gained a relationship with, she needed a husband. And why wouldn't I offer my husband to her? Why would I just leave her out in the street by herself? So I'm saying this story to say, when you love someone for the sake of Allah, you will put aside your feelings. You'll put aside jealousy. You'll put aside, oh, this man is mine. Nobody wants him. And you would do what's right to make sure that your sister is in a place where she is stable and that she is provided for. And it's crazy because the tables has turned. Now I'm divorced, and recently she asked me to be a part of her marriage, and she brought up, I remember when you put aside your feelings to ask me to marry your husband. So now I want to do the same for you in return, to marry my husband, so we can grow together indeed. Even though I didn't accept the offer, it made me feel so good that I imprinted a good feeling about Islam to this sister.
MashaAllah, this sounds like a beautiful story, but it's not. This is haram in Islam to do. A sister married, engaging with another sister who's married, talking about marrying her husband. There's no honor in this. This is haram in Islam. This is considered to be evil in Islam. And there's no blessings in this and no blessing in telling this story. It's not a beautiful story because it shows your ignorance to Islamic jurisprudence. It is forbidden in Islam while a woman's married, even if she has no shoes, married to discord with her husband, to be engaged with another sister, talking about marrying her husband. It's even not permissible in ʿIddah to be engaged in talking about and planning to marry somebody else while you in ʿiddah. And it's definitely forbidden to do this while you are married. There's no blessing in this story. And the saddest thing about this particular video, it appears the sister who is speaking appears to be Salafi. And it shows how juhal the community is in North America. The Salafi community is very ignorant, especially our women, of basic fiqh. It is not permissible while you married to be engaging in conversation with somebody else, to marry your spouse or your husband because they're having some marital problems. Haram. This is evil. I don't care even what happened to them while they was married or in their marriage, what's happening to them. You cannot be talking with the woman, planning for her to marry your husband while that sister is married. Haram. Nothing honorable about this story. There's nothing great about this story you're telling. It is evil and it shows the ignorance amongst Muslims. And the sad thing, the sister appeared to be Salafi. I always say in America, the Salafi community, mass majority of them are very ignorant and they love this label Salafi, but they ignorant of the basics of the religion. MashaAllah. Sounds like a beautiful story, but this is haram.